I have also optimized the loading process. So that means if you load a project or if you load a prefab, it works up to 6 times faster. So that's a huge improvement. With the new XCAM version, it's now very easy to set the player unit on top of every other object. So simply set the pointer to the position you want to use and then press the insert key. I have also reworked and optimized the search function. So now it's very easy to find any type of object. To open the search dialog, simply press the key F1 and then you can immediately enter any keyword, for example water, and press return to confirm. And now you can start to work with all these objects here. Simply select any list entry, copy the objects, start the brush, whatever. You can use the arrow keys up and down in order to switch between all the objects within the list. So that's also possible. And if you want to go back to the library overview, then press the key F3. And now you can use all these objects again. So that's easy. If you have searched for any object, then the result list is valid as long as you start a new search. So that means if you use the keys F1 and F3, you can switch between the object library and the last search result list. And if you want to start a new search, then simply press F1 again to clear the whole list and to enter a new keyword. So for example, lamp. And now this search result list is valid as long as you start another new search. And you can easily switch back to the object library or switch back to the last search result list. So that's easy. You can also use the search button in order to switch between the search result and the object library. And you can find the new button here on top of the settings button. So press a button to switch between the search result and the object library. Normally you will find some blue marked objects here within the result list, and that means all these objects are part of the XCAM object library and all the others are not part of the XCAM object library. And if you want to filter the result, you can use these buttons here down below. So by default XCAM will search for objects within all object libraries. But if you want to search only within the XCAM object library, press this button. And if you want to search within all other object libraries, except the XCAM object library, then press this button. So that's easy. It's also possible, of course, to search within your project. Then simply press the key F2 and now you can immediately enter any keyword. So for example MBG, press return to confirm, and now you see the result list. And the list looks a bit different because each list entry shows you the orientation of each object. So that's sometimes very helpful. But it's also possible to show the object height. So simply press this button here down below And then each list entry shows you the respective object height. So that's also sometimes very helpful. And the last option here is to show the scaling value. So for example, if you have placed some trees or whatever, and then you can see the saved scaling value. And then simply select any list entry to select the respective object. You can use arrow keys up and down to switch between all the different objects. And if you want to go back to the library overview, press F3. And then you can go on with your work with all these objects here. With this XCAM update you will get another new brush, and with this brush you are able to hide map objects. But there is one big restriction, because it's not possible to hide every map object. So only a few special object types, like buildings, but not objects like trees and stones and most of the walls, for example. That's very annoying, but it's currently not possible. So you already know the normal delete brush. If you press the key L, then you can detect and delete any object within your project. But with this brush it's not possible to detect any map object, of course. And all these objects in this area are already imported. So, but with the new brush it's possible. Press and hold down the left shift key and then press the L key. And now, as you can see, it's possible to detect some of the map objects, but not all of them, as I said before. So for example, it's not possible to detect the bushes here in the background. Okay, and then it's easy. As soon as you have detected one or more objects, simply press the left mouse button. And then these objects are deleted. But the objects are not really deleted, so only hidden. Okay, we can try to hide all the objects within this area. Okay, and then press the spacebar or return to finish this procedure. For this function there's also a new button definition available. So press the load button and here you can find the definition hidden. And then if you select this list entry, there are 4 new buttons, new functions available. So, and for example, if you want to make all hidden map objects visible again, then you can press or use this button here on the right side. Reset all hidden objects. And then as soon as you press the button and hit OK to confirm, all the hidden map objects are visible again. It's also possible to save the brush session into a file. So for example, press Shift and then L to start the brush, then hide the objects here. Okay. And then if you want to save this situation here, then press this button here on the very left side. Save hidden objects. Press OK to confirm, and then all these objects are saved into a single file, connected to the map you are working on. So this function makes sense, for example, if you have created some content here within this area and you want to go on with your work and the next day, then you have to restart your mission. And then all the objects are visible again. And then it's easy. First load the definition hidden and then press this button in order to load the last brush session, so the hidden objects. And then all these objects are hidden again. And then you can load your project to fill up this area, for example. And that's the reason for the possibility to load and save hidden map objects. And the last function in case of the hidden map objects is the possibility to save the brush session, so all hidden objects, into a script file. And that's very interesting because you can load this script file at the very beginning of a mission, and then as soon as the mission starts, all these objects are hidden. And to create such a script file, simply press this button here. Create a script file for all hidden objects. Press OK to confirm, and then the script is created. You will find the saved script file within the Arma 3 installation directory, and the name of the file is hidden objects and then the name of the map. Then it's simple. Copy this script file into the mission directory. Then create a new init.sqf and insert this code in order to start the script. But if the init.sqf is already available, then make sure that the start of the script is always at the very beginning of this init.sqf. So save it, and that's all. And now we can have a closer look into that mission, but for the first start I will disable the script call again so that we can see the difference. Save, and now start the mission. Okay, that's the mission, and as you can see I have placed only a player unit here. Nothing else, so no XCam or whatever. Okay, we start the mission. And as you can see, all the objects are there, so that's okay. And now we start the mission again, but we activate the script file. Okay, open the init.sqf again and activate the code line. Save, close, and now I go back to the mission and start the mission again. And as you can see, all the objects are hidden as soon as the mission starts. There is a small visualization available for all hidden objects if you want. So switch to the settings layer, select XCam settings, select marker, and here at the end you can find the hidden marker on or off. Currently the option is off, so I turned the option on. And now if I start the brush to hide some objects here, then you will see that there is a red arrow marker on the position of the hidden object. So that's only a control function. And as soon as you reset all hidden objects, then of course all these markers are deleted. Another new function is the possibility to import mission objects, but please note you are not able to import any vehicle or unit, so only static mission objects. And another restriction is you cannot import the init line data, so only the pure static object. Okay, so I have loaded a mission here, but don't ask me what's going on with this mission because I really don't know. But that's not important at the moment because I only want to show you the function. And as you can see, there are many mission placed or user placed objects within the mission, and I have placed the player unit to this position because Xcam will always start at the position of the player unit. Okay, and then we have to insert the Xcam logic in order to start the Xcam now. Okay, start Xcam. And now we need a new project or reload an empty one. So I think this one is empty. Okay. And now we try to import all these mission objects. So first press the load button here down below. And here you can find another new definition, the definition mission. So select this one, and then you will see two new buttons, and with the left one you can import mission placed objects. So press a button, and now you have two options available again. So import all mission objects, or if you select this one, you can only import the objects within the visible area. So I select this one, press OK, and now the import process is working. So it takes some seconds depending on how many objects are saved within the mission. And now, as you can see, all the mission placed objects, static objects, are part of my new project here. And as soon as you select an object, you can change the object, edit, delete, copy, whatever. So all these objects now selectable. And then you can create some new nice prefabs, for example, or whatever. Now it's also possible to save a name for each object, and I will show you a small example how you can use this function. So first I insert a prefab here at this position. Okay, this one. And now, for example, I want to give each tower here a name. Then it's simple. Open the object info page, select the first tower, and press this button. Enter a name. For example, tower 1. Then select the next one. Tower 2. It may be also this one. Tower 3. And the last one, this tower 4. Okay. And now if you export this project as a mission file, then these objects will have the name also within the mission. And if you want to have an overview of all the objects with a saved name, then you can also use the definition mission, because the second button here shows you a list with all the named objects. So And then you can easily switch between all these objects with a saved name. Okay, now we export this project as a mission file. And we have a closer look into that mission. Okay, and that's the exported mission file, and here you can find all the exported objects. And now we search for the towers. So I think this one, yes, this one is tower 1. And as you can see, name of this object is tower 1. So tower 2, this one. This object is tower 2. Here we have tower 4 and here we have tower 3. So as you can see, it works. Okay, now I will show you some changes in connection to the object library. So with the old XCAM version, it was possible to rebuild any object class instantly. But that's a bug, because first you have to unload the object class and then you can rebuild the object class. So if you now try to rebuild this class, then you will get this error message or this hint, because first you have to unload this class and then you are able to reload the respective object class. That's the right way. Another change is the possibility to select multiple object classes in order to process multiple object classes with one step. So for example, if you want to rebuild some new object classes, load the whole library and then you can create a kind of a selection by simply double left click the respective object class, and then as you can see, each selected one is marked green. And now simply press the rebuild button to start the process. So that's easy now. And in the same way it works if you want to unload multiple object classes. Simply double left click the classes to create a selection and then hit the unload button. And if you want to unselect the object classes, simply press the right mouse button. So that's all at this point. Okay, next one. So you already know the function to create a copy immediately from any map object. So that's a very nice function because it's a kind of a what you see is what you get function. So simply set the focus to any map object and then double left click and XCAM creates a copy. And you can go on with your work. So that's simple. But sometimes you are not able to create a copy. So if you double left click, nothing happens. This one also. This one, this object type is working. So the reason for this behavior is an incomplete object database. So the database is a bit different against the object library. But now you are able to rebuild the whole object database in order to have access to all the different map objects. So simply go to the settings page and select library settings, and here you can find the new button, refresh object database. So hit the button, press OK to confirm, and then XCAM is looking for missing entries within the object database. It takes some seconds, but after this action the function will work again. So we can check it out, switch back to the object layer, and then simply double left click this object to get the copy. So it's working now. This one is also working. So the whole object database is now complete again.